Okay, overview of all the characters in Yomi Hustle. I have not prepared for this, so this is just off the top of my head. I guess we'll start with Ninja. Ninja is like the closest thing this game has to like a traditional Shoto character, right? And what I mean by that is they're kind of the most. They kind of have an answer for everything. They're not really specialized, but that doesn't mean they're not good. They're very powerful. I'd say they're like the second most powerful character. And they got a lot of things at their disposal, but I think the first thing I'll do is go over universal mechanics, right? Like the grab, the punch, the kick, the slide. Yeah, sweep. So like punch, sweep, and grab, and dash. All the characters have some version of this. Like not all characters have the dash. The cowboy has a different version of the dash where it's not as fast. It's just a walk, right? But we'll get to that. So I guess the first option I should go over is weight, right? Weight, every character has this. It's just you choose not to take your turn. I think hold is like the same thing, so I don't know why there's a wait button. Dash is it's just it's what it looks like. It's just a dash. Go forward. Like I said before, the ninja's dash. Both the ninja and the wizard character have it, and it's pretty good. You go forward, you generally will not have negative frame advantage, and the way frame advantage works is it's kind of hard to explain. I'll try to explain this in the lens of someone who's not like familiar with fighting games, but is rather familiar with like strategy games. This is kind of like a strategy game, so I will explain frame advantage. And what frame advantage is basically just whether it's your turn or not, right? So you see it says +2, and when we go when we see +2, we're looking at player 1, right? My character Boner, that's player 1. So player 1 has +2 frame advantage, and when you have when you have plus frame advantage, it means it's your turn, right? So your opponent, if you successfully like predict their move, right? So you predict they're going to dash back, and you dash forward. That means you are +2, right? So that means it's your turn. If you are plus anything in this game, that means it is going to be your turn, and your opponent can't take a turn next turn. Obviously, higher numbers are better, right? So like you want to being only +2 doesn't really get you much, right? Because a lot of your moves will make you minus, right? They will be minus. So, right, even though I can do the sweep here, right, and the opponent doesn't have any options, it's -11, so let's say we walk in. Oh, now I'm -11 and the opponent has their turn, so they could block, right? Walking is another mechanic in this game that's pretty important, but I'll go over that later. Right, so we have the dash. That's just a movement option, right? Explain frame advantage. We got DI, which I think I'll explain last, because DI is like not super important in this game. DI stands for directional influence, and you see here, it just explains it pretty well. It's like when you get hit and you have your DI set to like here, for instance, you're gonna get knocked farther back down and to the left than you would otherwise, right? So like let's say this happens, it's gonna look different than if I had, let's say, my DI here, knocked a little bit less further back. And it doesn't really have that much of an influence on most moves, but it will have an influence on some moves. And it's kinda hard to judge like has an influence on which, and I'm not like a pro at this game, so I won't explain it. But that's basically DI. It's like a Smash thing. It's kind of cool that it's in this game. The group of friends that I play this game with some of them don't like it, some of them are neutral about it. I think it's fine. So explained dash, explained wait, explained DI, I guess. Yeah, and I kind of explained advantage frames. So I think the best thing to explain now is probably jump. And so I think both the Wizard and Ninja have the double jump, but I don't believe that the Cowboy has the double jump, or the super jump. Nope, okay, they all have the super jump, I lied. Right, so you could do a jump on your turn. Jumps are usually minus unless you go like here, so if you only have like a small jump arc, it won't be minus anything, but if you have like a larger jump arc, it will be like -1, right? So, but yeah, see it's not, yeah, so you see it's not minus anything if you do it like that. It will be minus if your opponent predicts it though, attacks you. Right, then we got the super jump, and the super jump is a super version of a jump. And you could only do like one super jump, and then you have the double jump. And then you have another, you could either do another double jump or an air dash. And this is, I think, is where the Cowboy difference, right? Because the Cowboy doesn't have an air dash, I think? Yeah, they only have a double jump and a teleport. I'll get to the teleport later. But the teleport is the reason why the Cowboy doesn't have the dash and doesn't have the air dash. Yeah, so those are most of the universal mechanics. I'm missing a couple. So I'll go over those now, I guess. So we have good burst. Burst is like, if you know Guilty Gear, it's the exact same as how it is in Guilty Gear, except a little different, where you have a burst meter, you can spend your burst to get out of an attack, but in this game, you can parry the burst, right? So if you think your opponent's going to burst, you can high block it. You can't low block it, you have to high block to block the burst, and when you get a parry in this game, when you block an attack, the frame it comes out, you get a parry in this game. So it's very similar to Street Fighter 3rd Strike in a way, because the parries will give you plus frames, and then you could get some stuff off of that. Or, I guess not Street Fighter 3rd Strike, I guess just all the Street Fighter 3s. I don't know if Street Fighter 3, the first version of it had parries. It doesn't matter though. Point is, it's similar to, it's kind of similar to that game if you played it. Where if you do like a perfect parry, you'll get more advantage frames than if you just block, right? And you get the parry by predicting your opponent's attack, right? So, like, let's say, you predict that your opponent's gonna do that. Now, player 2 has advantage frames because they predicted they're gonna do the attack. Right? Very simple. So that's how parries work, and that's how burst works. And there's another thing you can do with your burst meter, and that's a whiff cancel. So let's say you do an attack, and then you realize, oh, I don't actually want to do the attack, I don't want to be minus, because I don't want my opponent to punish me. You could whiff cancel it, right? So, let's say, what's a good example of like a punish here, right? Yeah. So let's say your opponent sees that you attack and wants to punish you for it. They could do that, but then if you whiff cancel, so if you spend a bit of your burst to whiff cancel, the attack's animation will cancel, so you won't get all of the minus frames from your attack. So you can cancel your attack early, and all of a sudden, oh wait, it's your turn, right? And you can do kind of like a punish. You can punish their attack. So that's how that works. If you have a little bit of super meter, you can also do what's called an instant cancel. which you kind of get super meter from attacking your opponent, so let's just, I don't know, do this, and you can do an instant cancel. That will basically spend a bit of your meter to make it so that you're more advantageous on your next attack, you're more plus. So cancel your attack like during the animation of it, and then you can kind of do a little bit more off of it, right? So you see here, like plus 16, it's kind of hard to connect because your opponent isn't like, your opponent's like in block stun, not block stun, what the frick am I talking about? Your opponent's like stunned, right? Or has some like invulnerability frames, so they can't really attack them, right? But let's say you instant cancel, now you're plus 22, and you still can't follow up because I'm stupid. But you are more advantageous than you would have been. Nope, still can't. Yeah, there we go. And you could do like that. You could sort of follow up, and you probably would have been able to follow up without instant canceling, but trust me, it's useful. It's a very good way to spend meter. The universal attacks that everybody has are the grab. The grab will let you throw your opponent. You cannot block the grab. The way to get out of the grab is to predict that your opponent's going to grab, and you do a grab attack as well, and tech the grab. That's what it's called. It's called teching. And that will just basically like get you to this animation where it's like you're both knocked away because you both grabbed at the same time. Yeah, so that's how that works. But you have to predict that your opponent's grabbing. It's not gonna like show you the tech animation. It might sometimes. I don't know. It's a little wonky the way this game works online. It's not like bad or anything. It's just kind of confusing to explain. But basically, if you think your opponent's going to grab, you should grab as well. You'll get the tech animation, and that will reset you back to neutral. Neutral, if you don't know, it's when nobody's like advantaged, everyone's just kind of in the same state, and you're not in a combo, nothing's really happening, you're waiting for someone to attack, right? So yeah. There's one of the universal attacks. Another universal attack that everyone has is punch, but not everyone has like a ninja punch. Like there's like different versions of the punch. And then there's a sweep. Actually, wait, Cowboy might not have sweep. I should just have my punch Cowboy. Yes, okay. Sorry, my bad. So Cowboy doesn't have sweep. Ninja has a version of sweep. Basically, sweep is like kind of, it goes forward and does a low. And so instead of, like, a lot of the attacks that I've been doing, they've been high attacks, right? So you block them by high blocking. But you could also block low to block with low attacks, right? So, like, for instance, you wanted to block the sweep. If you wanted to block this. If you wanted to block the sweep, you have to low block because it's a low. There's not a lot of lows in this game, so the sweep is kind of a good way to cross up your opponent. There's also stuff in this game that, like, wait, is that a high? I'm a little confused. Because there's like weird interactions with overheads in this game. Yeah, okay. So some blocks, or some attacks will just go over the opponent, and you just like can't really block them, right? So it's like almost like an overhead, but like not really. Unless I'm like really stupid. Yeah, no, okay. It's like kind of like how overheads work in fighting games, where there's mid attacks, right? So nunchuck would be a mid attack to block it by blocking high. Sweep would be a low, or kick as well would be a low, blocked by blocking low. And then we have overheads are usually blocked by blocking high in most fighting games, but it's a little bit weird in this game because some attacks you like just literally jump over your opponent, and it's like I don't think they could like block it unless they're jumping themselves. Yeah. So keep that in mind, but generally these attacks that go over your opponent, you shouldn't spam them because you're like usually minus a billion thousand on block. And then like let's say your opponent dodges, oh now you're minus 6 and then you eat a combo. Unless like you do that. You get the idea, probably. So yeah. I believe I've gone over all of the universal mechanics at this point. There might be something else, but if there is, I have neglected to acknowledge it. Oh yeah, of course, there's dodging. Every character has dodging. Dodging will go through projectiles. So let's say you try to throw a projectile. Every character has a projectile except for wait, no, lightning slice is a projectile. Yeah, every character has a projectile. Dodging will always go through that. You are minus on those dodges, so like you can kind of take like a throw, for instance, if you dodge right towards your opponent. It's still good though. It's like because like let's say you were to predict round shuriken, kind of. Can you whiff cancel? Yeah, you can whiff cancel, and then like you get reset back to neutral. I'm really being not that great at explaining it, but dodging is good. Just I'm not really setting up scenarios that make sense. I think for the most part this works though. Yeah. So here are the ninjas' unique attacks. They got the nunchuck, right, which is like it's just a mid or like an anti-air, right? So when it hits mid, it will just hit like opponents that are like just walk in, but the anti-air version won't hit opponents that are walking, but it'll hit opponents that are jumping, right? So like let's say you're trying to jump up real high, like it will still hit you, and the mid version won't hit you then, right? So the anti-air version, you do if you read somebody's jump, and if you think your opponent's gonna jump, and then the mid version you do if your opponent jumps. If you hit a nunchuck, you could do some follow-ups. You could do the heavy follow-up or the jump follow-up. Jump follow. It's just kind of like I don't know. It's just different. It's just different follow-ups, right? Like, it's just like, and yeah, you could do this as well. There's like a lot of things you can follow up with the nunchuck to mix your opponent. You might want to do the jump one if your opponent, I don't know, like is plus somehow after getting hit. It's kind of hard to explain, but you just do the different follow-ups and different scenarios. I can't explain every attack. Kick, low, drop kick. It's an overhead, but it's like minus a billion, so only use it if you think that it's gonna work. Sweep is a low and it moves you forward a bit. Punch, just punch. Stomp is kind of a move. This is the special moves, and this is kind of what makes the characters unique, right? So the stomp is like minus 7,000 billion, but it's like yeah, it's unblockable. So do this if you think your opponent's gonna block, and then you can kind of follow up with like a cool combo, right? So you can do like this, and then like this. Oh yeah, you can burst cancel as well. Burst cancel is like a whiff cancel, but you can do it at any time, and it spends all your burst meter instead of half your burst meter. I don't know if I explained that earlier, but if you whiff cancel, it spends half your burst meter, and you also get a burst off of it, right? So like, let's say you whiffed an attack, and you really fucked up, and you're like, oh shit, I need to get out. Nope, that's not how you use it. burst cancels. You can just regular burst cancel at that time, or at that point. But yeah, like, burst cancel will just give you a burst, and you could also do it, I think, as a whiff cancel for a super. I believe that's how burst cancels work. I don't know. I don't really burst cancel that much. That's the other universal mechanic on this. Every character has that. Right, so that's how you use the stomp. It's like an unblockable. We got the, and it also launches your opponent up, so you can kind of do a combo after that. We got the uppercut. The uppercut is this game's version of like a DP or Dragon Punch, which is just an attack that makes you like go up. Right, and if you hit the uppercut, it's like very, 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 very advantageous for you because you could always combo off the uppercut, right? Like, always. Also, if you dash, like, the uppercut will go further. Look, you're plus like 74, right? And the thing about that is you don't always want to super cancel the uppercut. You want to wait until damage says it's like done, right? Because you could super cancel the uppercut after the first hit of it connecting, but yeah, okay. So that is how burst cancel works. You can just cancel out of any attack, because certain attacks can't be whiff canceled. And you could also instant cancel in this case as well. So yeah, burst cancels and instant cancels, you could cancel out of certain attacks, and then you can whiff cancel at a, like, less committal attack. But yeah, so you could also super cancel attacks, so you could cancel things into a super, but for the uppercut in particular, you don't want to do that always. You want to wait until you see it's done doing damage, because it's a 2-hit attack, and you don't want to super cancel it early, because then you won't get all the damage out of it. But yeah, you can super cancel it once it's done. That, and then that, like, there's a little combo. Right, and then you might be able to follow up after this. I choose not to look. See if I can. We got Shuriken. This is a really cool. This is a really cool projectile because when you throw it, it might seem like a normal projectile, but you could also switch places with it, which is kind of cool. You can cross up your opponent that way. Jump kick. It's another cool overhead. I think can't block, but it's like it's never ever gonna hit your opponent unless they like walk back or are in the air. Yeah. So it's like you want to use it either in combos or like in air combos, or if you read somebody, it's not really a move you want to throw out in neutral. Sticky bomb is a cool move. It will throw down cool little sticky bomb, and you can detonate it, right? And then you get detonate it, and then you can kind of do some like cool shit off of that. You can kind of like punish your opponent. You're like now he's in the air, and then boom, could do like a cool combo after that. If your opponent like doesn't really see the sticky bomb, your opponent's gonna see the sticky bomb. So what you want to actually use it for is it's kind of like a command grab, right? So you run up, like I forget how to make this work, but I think maybe they gotta be in the air. And then you both gotta be in the air. Yeah. So we got the sticky bomb. You basically kind of want to use that if you read your opponent in the air or as like a combo finisher. And then that's like the only way to confirm the sticky bomb, because on the ground it's not too useful because your opponent can just dodge it. And also it's like minus a billion, so it's something you want to combo into. Summon is like the other zoning tool that the ninja has. So you'd summon your a clone in a couple different directions. We have one that like attacks down, we have one that attacks up, we have one that attacks like that, and then we have one that slides. And shuriken, you can substitute yourself for it, right? You could do that, you could turn into it. Also, you could do this thing called a back sway when you have the shuriken or the clone out, where you kind of like move after it, and then you could follow up with a couple moves like the slide kick and the palm strike and a grab. Or an uppercut. That's like another thing you could do when you throw out, when you use either of the ninja projectiles. And I believe that the clone takes priority over the shuriken when you're doing substitution. Nope, I was wrong. The the shuriken took priority there. So never mind. So the shuriken actually takes priority over the clone. Or maybe it might be the thing that you use last. Alright, so we'll try it like this, actually. So, I'm stupid. So you throw this, make sure it's like the low speed, and then we got this. Yeah, okay, my bad. So, what it is the thing that takes priority is the thing that you use last. That is the ninja, I believe. So now we can go to the cowboy. I think the cowboy is probably the strongest character. Which leaves the wizard to be the weakest character, but don't worry, the wizard's really good too. They're all like really strong. If the ninja is the Shoto, I'd call like the cowboy to be kind of like the rushdown character of the game. They have this teleport. They're kind of like a. Forgive me for saying this because I think Devil May Cry people are kind of annoying, but it's kind of like Virgil, this character, because he has this move, which is like kind of like the thing that you see in the last boss fight of Virgil, in like Devil May Cry 3 and 5, and he also has the cool Virgil teleport, and he could like do this, and he's like pew, pew, and then like he'd like combo like this, where he like teleports around, and then he like I assure you that you could combo a couple grabs into each other. I simply messed it up there. I don't remember how, but you can. You might need to instant control. So yeah, so he has this teleport move. Teleport's super good. It is an amazing thing to do at round start, because let's say at round start your opponent's like, oh, I gotta do this entire gambit, I gotta see, maybe he will attack and I gotta block, or maybe he'll do this, I want a projectile. And like teleport is just like fucking, it just completely skips neutral, right? You just like, it's really good to just teleport somewhere around start. You only get like -1, and it completely will just like throw your opponent off. But don't do it like every time if you're playing with like a friend, because it get really obvious really fast what you're doing. It's kind of scrubby, probably. I don't know if it's scrubby because I'm not pro at this game. I'm not pro at any game, to be fair. He has like the best normals in the game. These are so good. They do so much damage. He could just like, this move is like so much better than the uppercut. The upward slice, because the upward slice will just instantly confirm you into an air combo, and it's not -7 quintillion on block like the uppercut. We have the Stinger. Stinger, if you get hit by it, does so much damage and launches you back a lot. We have the Pommel, which the Pommel I believe is just like a kind of like his light attack. It's not minus that much on block. Yeah. So it's like it doesn't make him that much plus, doesn't make him that much minus. Just kind of his light attack. And then we have his ankle cutter. Ankle cutter is his low, and it's super fucking long ranging for no reason. He has grab, and then onto his specials. His specials are really funny. We have the 3 combo. 3 combo, he goes up. We got 3 combo down, which he can only do in the air, which he goes down. It's basically, it's what it looks like. He just does 3 attacks, right? It's -7 quintillion billion block. Let me switch the characters so it makes a little bit more sense what I'm talking about. You see, yeah, it's minus. It's not minus on block. What am I talking about? Well, it might be minus. It's probably minus on block, but I shouldn't say minus on block because it's just minus when he used it as well. I don't. I've like fighting game brain rot. Even then, that doesn't make sense though, because you can be like attacks are minus when you use them. We get lightning slice. Yeah. This is like his projectile. It's like it's kind of like a projectile. I think it has projectile properties because you could like kind of roll through it. Oh, you can roll through anything actually. It's just like generally I try to roll through projectiles. But yeah, so it's just like it's just kind of another light attack they could do from a distance. It combos into itself, so it does a ton of damage. A backslash is an anti-air. You use it if you projectile jump. And then impale. This move does so much damage, dude. It does so much damage. It's crazy, and it leads into a hard knockdown. So you could get some like Okazeme off that. Kind of. Well, not. I guess the pirate. I was gonna call him the pirate. I guess this dude doesn't really have that good OP. Like both the ninja and the cowboy, or both the ninja and the wizard have really good OP. Like, and OP is what you do when your opponent's down, but it's not super great for the cowboy. You sort of can like teleport and do some other things. You could set up the gun, which is probably the best thing to do when your opponent's knocked down. So yeah. So did I go over everything? No, I gotta do lasso. Lasso is like the funniest move in the game. So I was first like learning the game with my friends. Still am like learning the game, but you know, I was first like playing all the characters and stuff. Everyone was trying to hit the lasso, and when I first hit it, I was like so excited because I'm the first person to hit it. This move is super dumb to use in neutral because it's -7 quintillion billion, and you will like get fucked over if you try to use it. But let's say you hit it, it's like awesome because you could either do an Azuna drop, right, which does a ton of damage. You could pull as well, which I don't know why. Wait, hold on. You could pull as well, which I guess you would want to pull because you could kind of confirm into a gun combo like that. That's kind of dumb. What you want to do is you want to reel. I'm stupid. You want to pull actually. Wait, no, you want to reel. Yeah, you want to reel. So you could do either an Azuna drop, which after you do an Azuna drop, you confirm into gun, which I'll explain in a second. Or you can just like shoot immediately after reeling, which is kind of funny. And you can shoot multiple times after reeling, right? Yeah, you can. Right, and that is that's the lasso. So you don't want to use it in neutral. You want to confirm into it in a combo, which is like actually kind of easy in air combos. You can't do it really on the ground most of the time, but like let me try and see if I could do it here. Most of my experience, I'm really like lab in this game, so I don't really know how to do it. I said, yeah, there we go. Right, that's how you confirm into it in the air after alpha like a couple of hits, right? And then you can kind of wait on, undo, reel, Azuna drop, and then you could confirm into gun, and the gun will do like a whole bunch of damage, right? Boom. So that's the lasso. You want to confirm into it, and you can get a whole bunch of damage also. It's really cool. And we have the gun. The gun is like the cowboy thing. If you use all your bullets at once, it does an absurd amount of damage. But you don't want to do that. Apparently, according to my friend, who's in like the Discord, apparently that the dev said that the gun's supposed to be like a get off me tool, which I mean makes sense. You can use it like that. I just kind of use it in combos. If I get it off raw, you could get it off raw off like a read, right? Like let's say you know your opponent's jumping, is like not really smart. So you could shoot here, right, and then you could like whiz cancel, and then like, oh, I guess it is kind of like he could do things that avoid. Oh shit! I forgot to talk about the jump kick. How it's invincible to projectiles. Jump kick is invincible to every projectile, which is really good for dealing with both the wizard and the cowboy. And I forgot to say that yes, the gun has projectile properties, right? So you could use the jump kick to avoid projectiles, and the gun is a move that you could. So yeah, you don't really want to like you usually just want to combo into the gun, but you can get it off of a read, right? And when you do, you get a lot of good damage for free. Generally, what I try to do is if I get the gun raw, right? If I get it off of like a read, like super jump for example, unless they like burst, they're pretty much fucked. I usually like to get in like 3 shots if I get it off of a read, and then if I do it in a combo, I like to do like 2 or 1 shots, right? Because in this game there's something called combo scaling, which just basically means the more hits there is on a combo, the less damage it does. So if I confirm into it from a combo, I'll do like either 2 or 1 shots depending on how long the combo's been going. If the combo's been going for a while, I'll probably only do 1 shot. And if I get it off raw after a read, I will do like 3 shots. You could also just use all your bullets as soon as possible, but that's kind of dumb because your opponent can just burst, and then you'll be real sad. And also it's just like kind of a waste where you can just get way more damage if you use it my way. So yeah, that's the cowboy. I think that's everything with a cowboy. So I will move on to the wizard. The wizard's my favorite character in the game. He's a zoner. Think like, if you know fighting games, think like Dizzy. He's a projectile zoner, right? So think Dizzy. Dizzy's kind of the best character I could compare him to because he kind of like uses his projectiles for like set play, as well as just zoning. I think like Dizzy, maybe Morrigan, I think, is another good example. I don't know, I don't really know anything about Darkstalkers, but I know that like Morrigan's kind of similar to Dizzy a little bit, because she's like a zoner. She's like a projectile zoner. Maybe Sagat is a good example, or like Peacock to compare to as well. Just think like setup. Think like setup projectile zoner, right? That is his character. I think he's super duper cool. He has the ninja movement options. He has the kick, right? The kick. The wizard kicks a little bit better because it sends him forward a little bit more. His like punch is this icicle thing, which you'll notice very quickly that a lot of his moves are kind of not super advantageous in terms of frame data, except for the thumb slap, which is like fine. This is like light attack, but what he has to make up for it is amazing range on his attacks, and they also do like a lot of damage. You could do some really cool combos with the wizard, right? Because you could just attack them so far. This is not a cool combo with the wizard. I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid. I should have prepared for this. It's okay. It's okay. That's his normals. He has the thumb slap, which is only like -3, so you kind of use that as a poke. It's the icicle, which is minus like 1 trillion. It's super minus. But yeah, it's a really good anti-air. It's really good. Just mid as well. It's not a low, I think. I think it's a mid, even though it comes from the ground. Wait, hold on, what the hell am I doing? Oh no, it is a low, my bad. Yeah, so it's a mid, so it's a low, but it's also an anti-air. It is an anti-air, right? Like, it's not like that good of an anti-air, but it is an anti-air. I mean, I guess it is a pretty good anti-air. And I think it also, when you are jumping, the attack goes down like that. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh, and he has a whole different moveset in the air. So, yeah, so this is kick, jumps up the icicle. This is probably his best, is one of his best moves, because it's like, you can control the distance it goes from if you attack back. It's like, it sends you towards him, and then you can do like some cool shit off of that. Trust me, I'm better at this game when I'm actually playing it. But yeah, you can do like that. Shit like that. Right? Yeah. Hit it with the fireball. Yeah! There we go. Oh, by the way, flip? I don't know what this does. Oh, it performs your action backwards. That's what it does. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to explain that. That's what that does. So, in case you were wondering what that does, you could, like, kind of attack from both ways. So, if your opponent's, like, crossing you up, you'd, like, do that. But, like, also, certain attacks have weird hitboxes, like the wizard kick, for instance. That's what flipping does. So, yeah. Conjure Storm, it attacks from both sides, so flipping doesn't matter on that. It's minus 7 quintillion billion on block, but does a ton of damage, and you could combo into, like, the Flame Wave, I think, from it. Yeah. Kinda. Like, you don't want to, like, directly combo into it, because the opponent's gonna see what you're trying to do, but, like, you want to, like, do that, and then, like, do that, and, like, okay, you can't do that, but all of a sudden, holy shit, you're plus 1 quintillion billion, and look, now you're setting up all your zoning, right? So that's kind of the wizard's game plan. Is he has really good air combos, some pretty good normals, and what you want to do off of them is get a combo, and once your combo is done, you want to set up some projectiles, right? In Bolt of Magma, this is just an anti-air, but it also can be used in air combos. It cannot be used in air combos. It can be used when you're hitting your opponent into the air, and then you air combo off of it. Yeah. Also in the air, he has some different normals. He has Combustion. Combustion's really good. Does a lot of damage. It's not uber minus on block. He has the Mana Kick as well, which is kind of like the ninjas, like Axe Kick. Oh fuck! I forgot to talk about the Chuck Spin. That's something the ninja has. That's another air normal that the ninja has, and it's like really good for air combos. My bad, I forgot to talk about that. And I think that the Chuck Spin might be projectile invulnerable. I don't know. Hold on. No, it's not. But the Axe Kick, that is. Yeah, my bad. I don't think that the Cowboy has any unique air normals. He does not. Yeah, okay, good. So yeah, that's the only one I forgot. So yeah. And so what makes the character so special to me is his specials. I forgot to go over supers. Motherfucker. Okay, I'll go over supers last. I'll go over all the characters' supers last, so it's kinda like in order. He's got the magic dart, right? Which the way I use this move is it's sort of I kinda use it when I'm far away from my opponent as just like a harassment tool, because you could really spam this move, and you could like you could get it so that there's a lot of them on screen at the same time. Like, let me just try to find a good example. I think this is the first time I played Wizard. You could kind of just get like a lot of them on screen at once, right? And there we go. You start to see, I was really safe, and I just got a whole bunch of them off. And these things, they track your opponent. And they make it really scary to, like, traverse the screen, right? Because you're jumping, and oh no, it's chasing you, and it's not so bad when it's only one, but more and more of them come, and it's like, oh, well then, oh shoot, like, now I got a whole bunch of them chasing me, and it's like, oh man, that was only like 3 actions, and I got some. Now I have like a lot. Generally, when I'm using the magic dart, it's more of just like to control space instead of to really like confirm it to anything or like do a combo. But that's just kind of what I use the magic dart for. It's just I just use it when I kind of just have nothing else to do. And I just use it to set up like a whole army of things that where if one of them hits the opponent, it's gonna do a lot of damage, and it just sort of makes it harder for the opponent to control the screen. But don't like use it all the time, hoping to get anything off of it, because it's not always that's not always how you want to use it. Missile Form is a really great mobility tool. It's kind of like the super jump, but it's like I don't think it uses an air action. Which is another mechanic I neglected to explain. But yeah, when you're in the air, you see, you only have so many actions. You can only like double jump twice. Right. Missile Form ignores that. You can just Missile Form as much as you want. Nope, it uses an air action, my bad. So I lied about that, but trust me, it's good. It has a hitbox, so it's like a mobility tool with a hitbox, right? So you could kind of not only move around with it, but you could also like hurt your opponent. It's nice. It's good. Flame Wave is a good combo ender. It does a ton of damage, and it's also a good thing to do when you're far away from your opponent, because it's a good like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like it's like kind of hard to pass. A way to deal with the flame wall is to not get hit by it. And to like kind of, if you think your opponent's gonna do it, it's kind of like to roll through it, and then you can kind of grab, like you like punish like in some ways, right? Like let's say, I don't know. There's like a couple of things you could do to punish, like that. Yeah. And then you have Zephyr. Zephyr is like a kind of, it's like an anti-air command grab, where it's sort of you could grab your opponent and you could throw them, and this is used in conjunction with the wizard's supers to get off a whole bunch of damage. And we got the other wizard special, which is also command grab kinda. You use this to like sort of also at the end of a combo, like you could kind of confirm like a flame wave into this, I believe. Yeah, you get a little bit more damage off of that, and then now your opponent is trapped, and you could kind of do some stuff. It's trapped for a little bit. You can kind of get some stuff off of that. So both this move and this move, they all combo really well into the wizard's level 1 super, which I will explain all the level 1 supers now. So I start with the ninja and the cowboy. I guess I'll just make this the last part of the video. So the supers are a huge part of your combos. Oh shit. Right, so you got the supers. Big part of your combos, right? Especially on the ninja. I think the ninja has the best super. Has the best level 1 super. What I mean by level 1 is it only uses one, like, thing a meter. But, like, it does... I forgot about Star Momentum! Star Momentum's not that important. What Star Momentum does is when you were like jumping as a ninja. Ninja's got too many damn moves, man. When you're like doing something as a ninja, you could like take the momentum and go back down, and then release it later, right? It's easy. It's not that hard to explain. All right, for real this time. Now I'm going over the secrets. So we got like the supers, right? So you get some meter, and then yeah, you like jump. You do like a combo, and you're like, oh wow, now I have super, right? So the ninja super is really good because it's really easy to confirm into. There's a lot of damage. If I wasn't a fucking idiot, I would have been able to show that generally you get ninja super off of super, right? So it's like, let's say I'd like a little bit more meter here. See how it says level 1, so I'm only gonna get 1 super. But boom, like, ninja super gives you a lot of super, so you could usually get like more than 1 ninja super off of it. So you can like do like these long chains of just super, and the super, and the super as ninja. So ninja super is really good, and then he also has a level 3 super, which you get when you do even more damage, right? Like a little bit more, and then like a little bit more, and then like a little bit more. 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 And then, oh my god, I have level 3 super now. The level 3 ninja super is the couch drop. It's kind of like just like a projectile kind of, but does a lot of damage, and you can like combo into it. It's pretty cool. I don't know, I never used this because the spam the other one, right? But you could kind of like hit your opponent into it, right? Like that. So that's the level 3 ninja super. Now the level 3 cowboy super. It's its only super, but that's okay because that's really good. It's like really good. It's not like as good as I think the level 1 wizard super or the like level 1 ninja super, but it's pretty good, right? Like I'm better at comboing with this guy, huh? Kind of like easier. Maybe I could like do this now, this, this. There we go. You see, I got the 1000 cuts super now, right? And like, sorry, I got excited. Oh shit, I undooed. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I still got it. What the 1000 cuts super does is it does a whole bunch of damage if you get close and use it, right? So you can do that and get like a whole bunch of damage, but you don't want it. The way I don't use it that way. Oh, what the fuck? Why did it undo so much? Oh, never mind. I don't use it that way. What I do usually is like before I go in, I use the super, right? And then I can sort of get a little bit more off of it that way. Because then I sort of like it makes the teleport way more dangerous. Like, generally, you're not going to get something off of a teleport, right? You don't always get something off a teleport unless you're at advantage, but let's say, like, I wasn't at advantage here. Or, like, I didn't have, like, plus frames here, right? Like, I had, like, I just, like, had this out, right? It sort of makes the it sort of makes the teleport way more dangerous, right? Because you could, like, teleport, and then that will instantly hit the opponent. The opponent can do something about it, but you can set it up so that they can't. So it's very strong in that way, and it also just makes your strings do a lot more damage, right? That's why the super is so strong, but it does take a lot of meter keys. And then, yeah, you could also do the instant cancels. That's another thing you can do with the supers. And then finally, we got the wizard supers. The wizard supers are fucking crazy. They're the coolest supers ever. Right, we got the wizard, and like look what like doing your stuff as the wizard, right? Like you're doing like your wizard stuff, right? Like you're doing like, I don't know, man, doing like this. Or, where is my opponent? Where is he going? I don't know, man. Yeah, and then you do that. Why is he invulnerable? This game sucks. He is completely broken. I've completely broken the other wizard. Nope, can't do that. Alright, never mind. But like, yeah, let's say you're doing like your wizard stuff. And you're like just like chilling, you're doing your wizard stuff. And like you're doing like your damage. And, like, I can't hit that, man. I don't even know why I did that. But yeah, you're doing like your damage, you're building your meter, right? And thinking to yourself like, man, like I want to do some more damage, right? And then, holy shit, what is this thing? This is like the super duper version of the magic dart, because wizard does a lot of damage, you can build a lot of meter. So you could get these dudes out a lot, and these dudes are why I said he's like a set play guy, because you could kind of like knock your opponent into them, right? Like, oh shit, my bad. Like let's say you're like going towards your opponent, right? And it's like man, like this dude's just dashing up to me, like what am I even gonna do? And you go like boom, right? You could like grab him, like throw him, and boom, that does so much damage, right? So that's why I think that super is real cool. It's probably my favorite super. I don't think it's the best. I think it's like the second best super. So we got that. And then a couple more things I want to explain about the wizard. Like this, and then get some more meter. He has the orb, and the orb is a super cool super. You can only use it when you're level 3, but it doesn't like use 3 bars immediately. You start to use meter like over time with this super, right? And you get this orb. What this orb does is it like cracks the opponent, and what it like shoots at it. It's not like doing a good job at it right now, but I promise you that's what the orb usually does. Like I promise you. Maybe I need to like shoot myself. Okay, yeah, my bad. He's like a puppet. Yeah, so it's like as you're attacking, the orb's gonna attack too, and that's what makes it so powerful. Is you could kind of have like 2 attacks going at once. So yeah, that's what makes the orb so good. So you have the orb, and you see it's like using meter over time. But yeah, so you got the orb portal, you could like push the orb, you could lock it in place, or you can teleport to it. And I believe teleporting to it breaks the orb. So only use that if you want to break the orb. And that uses up 1 level super. I think it actually uses up all of the super at once. And then yeah. So that's what the wizard does, and like the last thing I could explain about the wizard is his unique movement mechanics, where he could stay in the air for as long as he wants. Doesn't mean he's gonna have all the air options in the world, but he can just like stay with this hover thing. Yeah, you could also like you could go into hover as you're doing other moves. So like let's say I was like want to do like another thing, I wanted a mana strike, I could still go in the hover on the same turn, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, so he has free fall, or fast fall, which makes you fall fast. Yeah, so that's the wizard, and that's the game. I did a poor job explaining it, so I'm not gonna try to it's kind of all over the place, but I got everything. So I'm not gonna try to split the video up into parts. I don't think in the comments. I think I'm just gonna upload this as is, unedited. And I don't know. I don't really think anyone will watch this, but just in case. I know the game's a little small, and I don't know if there's any like tutorials on it yet. There might be. In which case, watch the other tutorials. Don't watch this one. But like, it's like, yeah, you could kind of like do it. It's kind of just like an overview of all the characters and the mechanics of the game, and it might not have been super great overall as a video, but I hope that this might help somebody who's struggling to understand the game. The like parts of the video themselves, like all mixed up, isn't really that great, but I hope like the video itself will help people out kind of just learn the game, you know? Yeah, that's it. I guess I'll let this stupid shit play out. Just an example of kind of what it goes. And yeah, I don't know, if you're trying to learn the game and you don't really understand it, I hope this helps.